finally, let's go into the ring band, which is right now only a curve. And you can also see that it does not get rendered as long as it is a curve. It is not visible at all. Only once we give it a round shape, it will be visible again. But we want an object, so let's call it in here. And now, of course, it's just a circle. I want to make this a little bit more square. Change the pivot point to individual origins, and then I just scale them up, and that will give them more of a square shape. And of course, that is a little bit too chunky, so I will scale it along X. Here we have to do the median point again, so as to make it smaller, like that. Okay, so in this way, we've given this whole outer curve a different style, a different definition. And what we could also do, of course, we could scale this one thing down a little bit at the top or at the bottom, because right now it is kind of squished in the middle here. So let's bring that in a little bit. And let's bring that in just a little bit. So that is more or less a rounded off square as a basic shape. And now maybe some of those ornaments poke out here, and of course we can bring them in a little bit. Just make sure that it all looks nice and clean and the way you want. Also the stones are still sitting in their respective place. Nice one. All right, so now we have this outer edge, and what we're now going to do, I hope, will be a lot of fun. Let's get into the Jewel Craft add-on again. Let's create another gem. Let's keep it at 1 millimeter in diamond. Okay, it will come up here in the center. Now, our ring band is still a curve, right? Originally, this is just a little curve that has handles. Now, what we can do is we can select the stone, we can select the curve, and we can choose distribute on curve. So for now, this looks not like much, but what we can do now, we can open up this little panel and bring up the quantity of the gems. So they seem to be a little bit in the wrong place. So fortunately, we can offset those and we can bring them out. And we can rotate them, or rather tilt them 180 degrees so that they poke not outwards, except you want that maybe, but that they show their beautiful upper edge towards us. And then, of course, we can increase the count even more. So in this way, we can encrust this whole edge with diamonds. And I think that's pretty cool. Okay, once you're satisfied, let's just click somewhere else and this menu disappears. So now we have a bunch of diamonds, and those are a lot, but as you might see in the render, the problem with those is that the metal is cutting through the diamonds, okay? They are intersecting each other, and that is why the diamonds do not sparkle as nicely as the ones which are just set into these holes, which are already there. So to fix that, we would have to convert this curve, because we can't cut something out of this curve yet. We would have to convert it to a mesh. So for now, you'd have to be satisfied with how that looks, but we will fix that in the end. So now we have added stones in those holes. We have added a whole array of stones on the edge, and we will of course copy that over to the other side in a bit.